how do we sell to leads that are coming from ads, advertising online? No, it's very late in the office right now, but I had to record this video because it's going to concern a lot of you guys, especially if you're inside of the renovation industry, which is about 60 clients in a portfolio right now, and this is going to be very helpful to you. Now, most of you guys you're very good at what you do. You know, you may remodel and you design beautiful homes, but you're not a salesman, let's be honest. And most of you guys also built your entire business or your pipeline or your clientele through referrals. So you started with maybe one home and then the client was happy with it, and then you referred to friends, families, colleagues, any people in the network, and then it starts building up. But when things might get tricky is once we start advertising online and we start getting leads. Now these leads are going to be very different than the leads from referrals, and which is the first point that I want to talk about here. Now, ads versus referrals. Referrals, the person already knows you and they haven't done business directly with you, but they have an impression of you because they've been referred by someone that knows you. So the lead or the prospect in this case is already very warm, and they're a lot more motivated, and most importantly, they trust you a lot more. Now, the mistake that a lot of you guys make, and it's not your fault, is you treat the leads that are coming from ads the same way that you treat leads that are coming from referrals. And what you might notice happen a lot is they don't reply. Sometimes they ghost. You call them, they don't pick up the phone, or you text them, they don't reply, and they seem what we call dry, or they seem cold, which is normal. Now, I just want to give you a little statistics here on this gap that we're talking about. On average, it takes an additional 18 follow-ups for a lead that are coming from the cold side, for example, with ads, to close compared with the leads that are coming for referrals. So 18 follow-ups. Imagine how many times you have to be following up with that person before they close. And most of you guys, you give up on the second, on the third follow-up, and I haven't even gone to the second point and the third point yet. You might be sending stuff like question mark, or you might be sending, hey, Mr. Lead, have you seen my message? Or have you seen my quote? Have you seen my estimation that I sent you? Hey, what do you think? Now imagine, put yourself in the place of that lead or that prospect. You would find that really annoying, don't you think? So I'm going to get into the second point here in a second, but the first is I want you to have the understanding that the lead coming from ads doesn't know you, and it's your job to be able to overcome that gap, because no one referred that person to you. Yes, they might be qualified. Yes, they have the money. They're financially qualified. They have the intent. They have the need of what you have to offer, but it's still your job to be able to bridge that gap and build enough trust and motivation and excitement for that lead to close and close fast. If you do the things that I'm about to talk to you right now, you will notice that the average time it takes you to close a deal is going to be cut by at least half. That's if you only follow the things that I'm talking to you now, which is not going to be very, very difficult. So let's get into the second point, your introduction to that lead. Most of the time, since you're used to referrals, you don't have to do any introduction because you've already been introduced by someone. Your friends, your family, they introduce that person to you. You might make a group chat, or you might have a meeting, you might have a call. Hey, by the way, this is John. He renovated my house, or he's done this X, Y, and Z service for me. It's been fantastic. And it goes from there. But now you don't have that. So you have to find a way to introduce yourself. The best way is through, of course, you have to hit them from every different angle, texting and calling. Now, most of you guys will do one or the other. Sometimes you prefer calling, they don't pick up the phone, now you say, oh, this is a bad lead. Or you text, they don't reply, oh, this is a bad lead. Now, first, you have to do both at the same time. And I'm gonna get into the details in a bit, but the reason why you have to do both at the same time is every person likes to be talked to or spoken to differently. For example, someone like me, I don't like to be on the phone often, unless I really have to. I like to do everything through text, unless I really have to talk to that person. But if you encounter someone like that, who doesn't like to be called, guess what? You're gonna call him, he doesn't want to pick up. And it's gonna say random number or stranger, which makes him not want to pick up even more. Now, he doesn't know who you are, you call him, he doesn't pick up the phone. Now, the lead comes in, you call him, he doesn't pick up the phone, now you say, oh, it's a bad lead. But if only you've done that little extra step I'm about to show you, your reply rate is gonna be insanely higher. Now, first, texting and calling, there's an order to which you have to do this. Yes, you have to do both, but number one, you need to text first and then you call. The reason why is nowadays, most of the people use iPhones. Sometimes they might use Android. Now, I think this new feature is going to be rolled out inside the Android phones as well, but I learned this from the iPhone, which is if you send a text message to that person, introducing yourself first, after when you call them, it's going to show on the phone, the Siri is going to pop, it's going to say, hey, maybe John, or maybe Rhonda, or maybe Jessica, maybe that's someone. And guess what? That person's going to know, okay, so there's a name, so that guess what? The reply rate's going to increase, the pickup rate's going to increase. So always text first, introduce yourself. I always just use something very simple along the lines of, hey, this is Rhonda. I saw that you wanted to X, Y, and Z, for example. Oh, hey, I saw that you wanted to renovate your home here in Montreal or here in around North York, Markham. And you said you wanted to do X, Y, and Z, basement, kitchen. Now, I'm Rhonda. I just wanted to make sure that I'm talking to the right person. Maybe it's a wrong number, you know, and just prompt them. And most of the time they'll say, hey, yes, you have the right person. Now you can decide to continue texting, or you can decide to call them. You might ask them, hey, by the way, are you free for a call, or would you like us to continue conversating through text? But the first thing you do is you always want to introduce yourself. This way, it's gonna at least break the ice. You let them know who you are, and so that if you ever call them, at least it's gonna show who you are. And texting, if ever they still don't pick up the call, like I mentioned earlier, she or he might just be someone that doesn't like to be called. So they're not close enough with you yet for them to want to pick up the phone. So in this case, you continue the message through text. Now, another way that I would suggest following up with that text, the first text, is a selfie video. Now, a lot of people underestimate this tactic and they're a bit shy. But if you're not shy, this works exceptionally well. Selfie video, intro, wait, let me write that, intro. Now, how you do this is you pick up your phone, you turn on the camera, you film yourself for 10 seconds, maybe at most 15 seconds, and you say, hey, by the way, this is Rhonda. I just wanted to put a face to the name. Now, I do renovations, and I saw that you came through our ads recently wanting to renovate your basement or redo your kitchen here in your home near North York. Now, if ever you have a quick 2 minute, we can chat now. If not, you can always text us, let me know what you want. I'll be happy to show you some of the recent projects I've done that could be similar to yours, and maybe give you a couple of suggestions, give you a few options for you to look at and compare. It's very non-invasive. In this way, it adds a personal touch to it. They see that you're a real person, they see a face. Now guess what? It's going to increase the reply rate. And every single time, without exceptions, when we do this, the reply rates of the leads go up. And then you continue this until you find a time where they can text or call, which it goes back to what I'm saying, 18 follow-ups. It's okay if they don't answer. It's okay if they don't reply to your calls, your voice messages, or even your text. But just keep in mind that on average, it takes 18 follow-ups. So don't get bummed up or don't get frustrated if they don't reply. It's normal. Maybe the timing wasn't right. They might be busy, they might be at work, which is another reason why we have to do both all the time, call and text. If they're at work, they cannot pick up the phone, or if they're busy with their family or they're at a dinner, they cannot pick up the phone. So, but they might be able to reply to a message or two, a text message. So that's why I always do both. Now, what happens when they still don't reply, or the leads start getting into objections, or they start running into barriers? We're going to go into the next point, which is follow-ups. I'm sure you know what follow-up means, but most of you do it the wrong way. How do we actually do a follow-up is, I want you to pay attention to this keyword over here, which is personalized follow-ups. And what I mean by personalized follow-ups is, it's really annoying if you just send question mark, question mark, or you say, hey, hey John, have you seen my text? Hey, have you seen my code? Have you seen my estimation? It's empty. It feels like you want something from them, but you have nothing to give. Like, why would I want to care that much about your code when I don't trust you yet, or I don't like you that much yet? Which goes back to the point when I'm saying about 18 follow-ups and cold ads versus referrals. They don't know you yet. They don't trust you yet. Now, these personalized follow-ups, if you stack them enough times, at some point, it is gonna work. Now, what I mean by personal follow-up is instead of saying, hey, have you seen my message? Have you seen my quote? Have you seen my my estimation? Or have you seen this? Have you seen that? Or even, hey, what do you think? All those things are empty. Now, what you're gonna do is you look at what that person is saying or that history of what the person wants. For example, if let's say John, he wants a kitchen in Richmond Hill, and he likes his kitchen currently is very old and he wants to renovate it into something new and modern because his wife stays at home a lot. Yeah, you have kids, you have guests, and they want just a very fantastic kitchen. Now, knowing that information, what you could easily do is you can say, hey, by the way, John, recently the company has been working on a project, not in Richmond Hill, but we can say in North York. And I remember that you wanted to renovate your kitchen into something modern, around the budget of 60,000, maybe 80,000, and that your wife really wanted something that's more earth toned, for example. Now, here's a similar project that we've done just last week or just last month that the company did for another customer. It's in a different city, but I just wanted to show you what that would look like. Now, the customer, he ended up spending 120,000 because of X, Y, and Z. They had much more premium countertops. They imported some of the stuff, but I'm sure within your budget that you have, we can work something that's similar. Let me know what you think about this project. Now, see what I did there is I found a way to get that lead back inside the conversation. I didn't just ask, hey, what do you think? Or hey, have you seen my message? I showed them something that they want that applies to their situation. And if you do this enough times, every single time, then at some point the lead will answer, or at least they will be a lot more motivated and excited to answer. What you're doing is you're motivating them, you're exciting them, and you're building trust. And if they don't answer the first time, they might give you a thumbs up, or they might say, yeah, this is great, this is fantastic. Don't give up. Just keep finding loops, keep finding ways to keep your foot in the door. You might say, oh, here's another project that we've done. Now, it's not exactly in the same theme that your wife or that you want, but I remember you still wanted to do a kitchen. I just wanted to show you something different. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it, but it's the most recent project that my colleague did, or that our team did. And in case you like it, let me know what you think. And you keep sending personalized, value-driven follow-ups to these people until they would reply. This way, you're not being invasive. You can even you can send unlimited amounts of these follow-ups, and they wouldn't feel that you're as annoying, because every time you're not asking for something, you're just showing them some updates, something new that you've done. It doesn't always have to be like past projects like you keep mentioning. It could be, if ever, let's say there's no relevant past projects, you can also say things like, hey, by the way, I remember you wanted to do your kitchen. Now, I've just seen this report in the magazine saying that because of the tariffs, these X, Y, and Z materials coming from these places are going to be a lot more expensive. Now, I know you have a family of 4 kids, and you don't want to overspend. Now, I found some additional solutions for you that where you don't have to order materials that are going to cost a lot in shipping. So what we're going to do instead is here A, B, and C. Here are the 3 suggestions that I have. Let me know what you think. You don't have to make a decision now, but I just remember that was something important to you, and I wanted to pass that information on to you. Now, you see what I'm doing here? I keep finding ways to stay in a conversation, to keep being helpful to that lead until at some point they will be interested. Now, I keep saying until, or at some point, which will, because it brings me to the 4th point. Now, this is a universal, I would say, point where it's very important for you to know as well. Oh, wait, hold on. Timing. And the reason I'm saying timing is, look, here I'm saying 18 follow-ups. This is very closely related to what I mean by 18 follow-ups, because everything is about timing. The first follow-up you send, maybe it's going to close, but it might not close. It might take 29 follow-ups before they close. But if you try to understand deeper why it might take so many other follow-ups, is most of the time is purely because of timing. This is why you have to keep your foot in the door, you have to keep following up, you have to keep being helpful, cheerful, and bring them excitement, emotional value on top of just your professional value, so that you have to hit the right timing. Because, for example, maybe suddenly they were interested, but who knows, maybe suddenly they're going through a breakup, or they're going through a divorce. or if someone from their family is just getting married, or they might be busy with something else. Maybe they have a business trip that they're going somewhere, or maybe they are busy with a new business, a new project, so on and so forth, which will impact the timing over here. On the surface, they might not seem as motivated, or they might not seem as active, and you might interpret that as they're not interested anymore. But they are interested. It's just that they just have a lot, maybe more things that they had to prioritize, that they did not have a choice before they can get onto you. But imagine if you've sent 10 follow-ups, and on the other side, it was just a timing issue, but now you give up, you say, you know what, this lead is bad. You were one follow-up away from closing a deal. So always keep in mind the timing part, because if you keep following up, at some point you're going to realize the stars are just going to align. It's going to feel like the stars just align. Suddenly, they just made a big bonus at work, or suddenly they have a lot more free time. Everything is going well for them. Now, guess what? Because you've been that person that has always followed up, that has always been there to give helpful value to them, on top of the professional value and on top of emotional value. For example, if you're sending follow-ups every 3 days, every 4 days, every week, guess what? The first person they're going to think about is you, and the deal is going to go to you. So no matter what happens in point number 2, number 3, number 1, everything is chained in order. It goes back to timing. It might take 2 follow-ups, but it might take 18 follow-ups, or it might take 27 follow-ups, 37 follow-ups. On my side, I've been following up with a lead for, at this point, a year and a half. It's a massive deal. It's a big deal. It's a big contract. But guess what? I keep following up. At this point, they've gone through 3, it's a corporate business. It's a corporate, big corporate group. They've gone through 3 CMOs, chief marketing officers, and we still haven't gotten the deal closed. But guess what? I'm still following up, because as long as they don't block me, the deal is still in the game. At some point, it's going to close. So to recap what I just said, very important, how to sell to leads that are coming from ads. Number 1, you have to keep in mind the state of the lead. Lead that doesn't know you, that's cold, they're still interested and qualified, but that's cold, they don't trust you yet, versus someone that's been referred by a friend, family, coming from a referral, they trust you. So because of that, there is a, let me use a different color. Because of that, there's a big gap that you have to understand, that it might take on average 18 additional follow-ups. And then, second point, how to properly introduce yourself. Text them first, let them know who you are, and call them after, so that because you text them first, at least hopefully the AI is going to, on their phone, is going to show your name, your first name, so that it increases the pickup rate. And when you text, you can follow up with an additional selfie video, introducing yourself, putting your face to the name, putting your face out there for them to see, okay, this is not some scammer, this is not some person that's random, it's actually a professional person. Now remember his face, great, now they're gonna have a deeper impression of you. Number 3 is continue. If ever they don't reply, if ever they don't go ghost, if ever the leads start to run a bit dry, send personalized, instead of normal stupid follow-ups. Do personalized follow-ups. Remember the things that they mentioned. Remember the things that they want. Look back at their application form, what they filled out, what they want, and then try to bring helpful suggestions. Try to bridge a gap. Try to continue providing either professional support, emotional support on both sides to these people, and continue following up consistently until you close the deal. And then number 4 is the timing. Just remember, if ever they don't answer, it might just be a timing issue. So that continue doing point number 2, number 3 consistently, and guess what? Over a month, over 2 months, over 3 months, things are going to start compounding, and before you know it, deals are going to flow in like a river. So go back to this video, watch it again. Remember these tips in order, and if you apply them properly and successfully, you're going to really notice that the sales cycle, on average, the time it takes for you to close a deal is going to be cut in half. That's what we've seen across all our clients.